Hello everyone, thanks for joining us as we break down some recent seismic activity that's caught the attention of the Bay Area and beyond. Our planet is always on the move, and the San Francisco Bay Area just got a powerful reminder of that fact. This region, famous for its beauty and innovation, sits atop some of the most active fault lines in the world. In late June and early July 2025, two earthquakes struck within just 3 days of each other, shaking up daily life and sparking conversations about earthquake safety. The second quake, a magnitude 2.9 event near Fairview, was felt by more than 800 people, stretching from West Sacramento all the way down to Santa Cruz. Even though it was considered minor, it was enough to rattle nerves and remind everyone of the region's seismic reality. Thankfully, no damage was reported from either quake. Still, these tremors got people thinking. How prepared are we really for the next big one? Conversations about emergency kits, evacuation plans, and family safety became common once again. Small earthquakes like these are actually quite common in California. They're the planet's way of releasing built-up pressure along fault lines, and most pass by with little notice. But when two happen so close together, it naturally raises questions. Is this a sign that something bigger is on the horizon, or is it just part of the normal cycle of seismic activity here? That's why scientists are constantly studying these patterns, using advanced technology and historical data to help us better understand and prepare for what might come next. In this episode, we'll explore why the Bay Area is so earthquake-prone, what the real risks are, and most importantly, how you and your loved ones can stay safe when the ground starts to shake. We'll also take a closer look at the tsunami threat, how these massive waves form, and what scientists are doing to predict and warn us about them. Understanding earthquakes and their mechanics is the first step to living safely and confidently in this dynamic, ever-changing region. Preparedness can make all the difference. So, let's dive into the fascinating story of San Francisco's shaky ground, and discover what makes this area both beautiful and unpredictable. What causes earthquakes? Why does the ground beneath our feet sometimes tremble, crack, or even split apart? The answer lies deep below the surface in the restless heart of our planet. Imagine the Earth's surface as a giant jigsaw puzzle made of massive interlocking pieces called tectonic plates. These plates are constantly in motion, floating atop a sea of molten rock even though we rarely notice it. These plates move slowly, sometimes only a few centimeters a year, but their edges can get stuck against each other due to friction. Over time, enormous pressure builds up at these boundaries. When the built-up energy finally releases, it sends out seismic waves that ripple through the ground. That's what we feel as an earthquake. The sudden release can be gentle or violent depending on how much energy was stored. The underground breakpoint where the energy is released is called the focus, while the spot directly above it on the surface is known as the epicenter. This is often where the shaking feels strongest. Seismic waves travel outward from the focus, making the ground shake in different ways, sometimes rolling gently, other times jolting suddenly. The effects can be felt for miles around. The magnitude of an earthquake depends on how much energy is released during this process. Scientists use special instruments, like seismographs, to measure and compare the strength of different quakes. Think of snapping your fingers. Pressure builds as you press, then suddenly releases with a sharp sound. Earthquakes work in a similar way, but on a much larger and more powerful scale. Fault lines are the places where these plates meet and get stuck. California is crisscrossed by many fault lines like the famous San Andreas Fault, which is why the region is so seismically active. Over millions of years, the movement of these plates has shaped California's dramatic landscape. Mountains, valleys, and even volcanoes are all products of this ongoing process. Earthquakes are a natural part of our planet's ongoing evolution, constantly reshaping the land and reminding us that the Earth is alive and dynamic. By studying faults and plate movement, scientists can estimate where and how often quakes might strike. This research helps us understand the risks and prepare for the future. This knowledge helps us prepare for the inevitable, encouraging communities to practice safety drills and have emergency plans in place. Earthquakes aren't mysterious. They're the result of a restless, living planet, always changing and moving beneath us. By understanding how and why earthquakes happen, we can take steps to stay safe and resilient, no matter where we live. Why is San Francisco so prone to earthquakes? The city sits at the meeting point of the Pacific and North American plates, divided by the famous San Andreas Fault. This fault, along with others like the Hayward and Calaveras, crisscrosses the Bay Area like a busy highway system. The recent quakes were linked to the Hayward Fault, just one of many in the region. These faults constantly build up and release pressure, causing frequent small quakes. Living here means living with this dynamic geology. It's shaped the city's landscape and forced engineers to design stronger buildings and emergency plans. Residents know the importance of being prepared. The same forces that create risk also create the Bay Area's stunning hills and bays. It's a trade-off, breathtaking scenery, but a need for constant vigilance. The ground beneath San Francisco is always in motion. That's what makes the city both beautiful and vulnerable. In San Francisco, the big one is always on people's minds. Scientists at the USGS estimate a 72% chance of a magnitude 6.7 or greater quake in the Bay Area within the next 30 years. There's a 51% chance of a magnitude 7.0, and a 20% chance of a massive 7.5. These probabilities aren't meant to scare, but to inform and motivate preparation. Faults like the Hayward and San Andreas are under constant stress, and eventually that energy will be released. Recent small quakes are reminders that the system is active. Scientists can't predict the exact time of a quake, but they can forecast the risk. This information helps cities, engineers, and residents get ready before disaster strikes. Preparation is our best defense. Earthquakes aren't the only danger. Coastal cities like San Francisco also face tsunamis. Undersea quakes can trigger massive waves that travel at jet speed across the ocean. If a quake strikes just offshore, a tsunami could hit the coast in as little as 10 to 20 minutes, barely enough time for warnings. The shaking itself is the best warning sign. If you feel a long, strong quake, move to higher ground immediately. Tsunami waves in the Bay Area could reach 4 to 9 feet, threatening places like Ocean Beach and low-lying communities such as Alameda. Quick evacuation is critical, especially where escape routes are limited. Public education and clear evacuation plans save lives. Remember, the earthquake is your natural tsunami alert. Knowing the risk is the first step to safety. In December 2024, a magnitude 7.0 quake off Humboldt County triggered a tsunami warning for much of the California coast. Thankfully, only a tiny wave arrived, but the event exposed gaps in public readiness. Many people didn't know if they were in a hazard zone or where to go. The state's tsunami map website crashed under heavy traffic, adding to the confusion. The incident showed that having a plan isn't enough. People need clear, accessible information during emergencies. Since then, California has updated tsunami risk maps and improved evacuation strategies. Some counties now offer online tools to check your risk. The December scare was a low-stakes test that revealed what needs fixing before a real emergency. Better outreach, signage, and communication systems are now in the works. The lesson: preparedness is more than just a plan, it's knowing how to act when seconds count. Every drill is a chance to get better. When an earthquake hits, remember 3 words: drop, cover, hold on. Drop to your hands and knees to avoid being knocked over. Take cover under sturdy furniture or against an interior wall, protecting your head and neck. Stay away from windows and avoid doorways. They're not as safe as you might think. Hold on to your shelter until the shaking stops. If you're in a car, pull over away from hazards and stay inside. Outdoors, move to an open area, away from buildings and power lines. After the shaking, be alert for aftershocks, and if you're near the coast, the risk of a tsunami. If the quake was long and strong, evacuate to higher ground immediately. Don't wait for an official warning. Roads may be blocked, so walking is often safest. Have a family plan and a go bag ready. Simple steps can save lives. Practice now so you're ready when it counts. The Golden Gate Bridge is a San Francisco icon and a vital lifeline. Just 6 miles from the San Andreas Fault, it's vulnerable to major quakes. That's why a massive seismic retrofit is underway, with the final phase starting in 2026. The goal: make the bridge strong enough to survive a big quake and reopen to emergency vehicles within 24 hours. Engineers are adding 38 giant shock absorbers, thick steel plates, and a new steel lattice for extra support. Most work will happen at night to keep the bridge open for daily traffic. This project blends cutting-edge engineering with historic preservation. It's a commitment to protecting both a landmark and a crucial route for the Bay Area. The retrofit shows how science and preparation can safeguard our future. the bridge will stand strong, ready for whatever comes. The most important part of earthquake safety is your own preparation. Taking the time now to get ready can make all the difference when the ground starts to shake. It's not just about having supplies, it's about knowing what to do, where to go, and how to keep your loved ones safe. Start with a plan. Talk with your family about what to do during and after a quake. Make sure everyone knows their role, and practice your plan together so it becomes second nature. Discuss how you'll communicate if you're separated, and choose an out-of-area contact everyone can reach. Choose safe spots to take cover, like under sturdy tables or against interior walls, and pick meeting places outside your home in case you're separated. Practice earthquake drills regularly so everyone knows exactly what to do, even in the dark or when scared. Build an emergency kit with enough water and food for at least 3 days, plus first aid supplies, a flashlight, radio, extra batteries, cash, and copies of important documents. Don't forget medications, pet supplies, and comfort items for children. Secure heavy furniture and objects that could fall or block exits. Anchor bookshelves, TVs, and appliances to the wall, and make sure nothing heavy is hanging over beds or seating areas. Move heavy items to lower shelves and keep beds away from windows or mirrors to reduce the risk of injury from falling glass or objects. Small changes can make your home much safer. Know how to turn off your gas and water if needed. Learn where the shutoff valves are and teach everyone in your household how to use them safely. Stay informed about local risks and evacuation routes, especially if you're in a tsunami zone or near the coast. Know your community's warning systems and evacuation plans. Use county tools to check your risk and follow updates from reliable sources. Sign up for emergency alerts and keep your phone charged so you can receive important information quickly. Earthquakes and tsunamis are part of life here, but preparation turns fear into confidence. When you know what to do, you can act quickly and help others stay calm. Make a plan, build a kit, secure your space, and stay informed. Preparedness is power. By taking these steps, you're protecting yourself, your family, and your community. Be ready, our amazing planet demands it. Together we can face any challenge and keep our community strong.